As more time passes, the 2025 NFL Draft looks pretty awesome at the cornerback position. There are a couple of absolute superstars at the top and a number of guys that could sneak into first round conversations with a strong pre-draft process. But there's a lot of value further down the board that I don't think a lot of people are giving the praise or the credit that they deserve. One of my favorite sleeper cornerbacks in this class is Cal cornerback Nohl Williams. Williams had an incredible season in 2024 for the calgoldenbears and is a player who is steadily rising up boards, and if he performs well at the Senior Bowl this week, could be a day 2 pick. How high could we expect to hear his name called in the 2025 NFL Draft? That is what we will be discussing in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon page, where for $5 a month, you guys will get exclusive access to my in-depth draft guide and big board, with over 500 prospects and counting. It is some of my best work, and if you enjoy my draft content, I highly recommend checking it out. Leave a comment on this video and let me know which prospects you guys would like to see in a future episode, and without further ado, let's take a closer look at Nohl Williams. Williams started his collegiate career at UNLV, and after 3 seasons with the Rebels, he transferred to Cal. His 2023 season was solid. He played in 967 snaps, allowing 521 yards on 40 receptions, and he had 2 interceptions and 4 pass breakups. His 2024 season was really where he made his money. He played in 877 snaps and allowed 362 yards on 32 receptions while posting 7 interceptions and 9 pass breakups, and earning himself an All-American nod. He's a great player who I think is flying under the radar in this class. The first thing that really popped off when I watched Williams was his elite size for the boundary. He's 6'1", 200 pounds, and has elite length for the cornerback position. He's got the ideal size to be a legit number 1 guy at the next level, and the perfect combination of height and length. I really liked what he showed in man-to-man coverage. In press man coverage, I thought he showed a strong initial punch at the line of scrimmage. He also had incredibly fluid hips, and I thought his change of direction and overall movement skills were pretty solid. He also had true burners to stick with wide receivers deep down the field, and his top speed is very good for a starting level defensive back. And those are all tools that you just can't teach a player, and he has all the intangibles you look for at the position. Nohl has a knack for the football. It is incredibly hard to throw the ball to his side of the field because he has absolutely remarkable ball skills. He seems to always be involved in the passing lanes, whether that be a pass breakup or an interception. As previously mentioned, he had 16 plays on the football this year, and he just flies around in the defensive backfield, reads plays perfectly, and jumps the gun exceptionally well and makes big-time plays. There's a lot to love about Williams and what he does as a corner, but there are 2 major things I didn't love. For one thing, I really hated his stance. It felt like there were way too many times when it seemed like he was playing completely vertical at the line of scrimmage. He didn't play low, and it felt like he got flat-footed at times as a result. He's got to get that cleaned up if he is going to start at the next level, because he's going to get beat by NFL wide receivers pretty often if he doesn't clean that up. The other thing that does slightly worry about me with Williams is his aggressiveness. Now, it helps him land so many interceptions, and I love that, but sometimes he can be overly aggressive and allow too many big plays. He allowed 362 yards this year, which is solid considering it was only 32 receptions, but throughout his career, he's allowed too many yards for my liking. He has to do a better job of not biting, not always trying to go for the interception, and play a little bit more grounded as a defensive back. Nohl Williams is one of the more underrated corners in this draft class. He's got a lot of intangibles. He's got some of the best ball skills in the class, and is a great tackler, which we didn't even mention. He only had a 5.7% missed tackle rate in 2024, which is elite for a corner. You want guys that are willing to tackle, and Williams does that. He's a big-time player and is my number 8 cornerback in this draft class. I think he just has some tools that you can't teach, and he is going to be a big-time riser throughout this process. He's my number 57 overall prospect in the class. In terms of a scheme fit, I think Williams would work best in a heavy man coverage scheme that likes to utilize his ability in press. His movement skills and athleticism are rare, and he would be an elite player if he could really be used as an athlete and the way that Cal used him in 2024. Allow him in one-on-one situations to get on matchups with receivers and play the football, and I think you could have a special player on your hands. My player comparison for Nohl Williams is Dallas Cowboys cornerback Trayvon Diggs. Diggs is a very solid cornerback, but there are 2 big issues in his game: his aggressiveness and his stance. He's made a lot of big plays on the football. He does a great job with jumping the passing lanes and forcing turnovers. But on the opposite end, Diggs has allowed a lot of big plays. That's how I feel about Williams. He's kind of a feast or famine type of corner who's either going to get big time pass breakups or he's going to get beat for a touchdown, and you're kind of going to have to live with that at the next level. I think he could be very similar to Diggs in the NFL. Nohl Williams has a knack for the football. He's fluid, he has great ball skills, and is an elite athlete. He's going to be a good NFL player if he falls into the right situation, but I think he's being very undervalued in this draft class, and ultimately, I believe that Nohl Williams will be a top 100 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.